Hello and welcome to another video generation of the Wan model. In this one, we're going to be talking about the FastWan, a way to generate video at 2x speed using FusionX, VACE post control, and character LoRA. I'll be sharing all my test results and what I think is the best setting to maximize the usage of this new feature to generate video extremely fast. So let's get into it. This is the GitHub of the team working on the FastVideo feature there. It's with them that we're able to get this feature to have FastWan versus just regular one. You can see here some tests that they did. I'm doing my own test to see what I get out of it there, because I have a slightly different environment, different setup than what they would use as they test themselves there. But definitely a great work that we have here from them, and thankfully also from Kijai there, which enable us to have the FastVideo version of the LoRA there, so that we can use it in our ComfyUI workflow there. So thank you very much for that, Kijai. And let's look at the actual workflow itself. Now, this is my workflow where I use this LoRA. You can see here we have the regular workflow that I usually shared there in the past, but with the extra additional element of the FastWan here, LoRA. So we can see here, enable it there, the FastWan LoRA. So with the FastWan LoRA, we can generate way faster. What I mean by that is we can reduce the amount of step used to generate this video. Normally I would go toward the 8 step there, but with the Fast LoRA, we can go all the way down to 3 or 4 step. That's why I'm saying it's a strong increase of the generation speed there to about 50%. So to showcase this, I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into the detail of the workflow itself. I mean, the workflow is a workflow that I usually share already. Rather, I'm gonna focus on the test and the output there, right? So really, this workflow is the usual workflow that I use to generate the Wan video there. So in sum, I mean, you have a control video there where there's the motion, and the motion is transformed into the pose preprocessor, which then give it the control with the Wan VACE to video control and reference here, right? And then you have the LoRA with the different FusionX, which enables us to finalize with the different video generation. So let me show you the testing itself there. Right? Again, did a lot of generation to compare different parameter to try to figure out what makes the most sense. So I'm just gonna go from top to bottom there so that we can see the different generation. So on the top here, and again, all of these are being done with the same reference video there. So that's why it's doing all the same pose. I keep also the same AI character LoRA that I have there. So that's why it's all the same character with the same prompt. The prompt I'm using is just a young woman. So nothing specific, nothing detailed there. And from there, I'll able to compare the different details there. So going back on top here from that big generation, I mean, on top here, I was doing some tests. In this case, I was using 0.7 for the different LoRAs there. So the 2 raw LoRA I have, one for the character and one for the FastWan. So let's start looking at these top results. The top result here, we can see I was testing with a 4-step with a 70% LoRA on each of the 2 LoRA there. And we can see from the left side there, I mean, it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's a very decent result there within 4 step, right? I was testing mainly with the VAE32 floating point there, which I didn't see a huge difference within that there. So that was interesting. On the right, I was testing with a much higher resolution, knowing that the Wan model there doesn't support such a high resolution. I mean, it was starting to get some artifact that showed up there that showcase the lower resolution support of the Wan model. So that was interesting also to see. If I go a bit lower here, this is my series of tests for the 70% LoRA, but from left to right, I try to go with smaller step size until higher step size, right? So I'm trying to see how many steps do I need to go until I get something that's good enough for decent, right? Because you can go very far in step, but at some point it doesn't make sense anymore for the extremely small detail for the amount of time that's going to be needed to generate those videos there. So we can see from the left, I mean, clearly it's still missing some stabilization, right? So we can see the surrounding. It's very not very sharp there. I mean, it's hazy. So I would say this, if I zoom out, this would be three step, right? So this will be the column of 3 step there. This line has a 960 with the resolution there. So 70% LoRa with 3 step, it's okay, but not great yet. And we can see with the 4 step in this case, when I get to this image there, it's 4 step. It's much better already. I mean, it's in fact it's pretty good, right? If we go to the right here, I was comparing with a LoRa 100% on each of the LoRa, so 1.0 and 1.0 for the both LoRa there. So and with a high resolution here, and it was giving me some pretty decent result there. Nothing bad about it, that I would say. And all the way to my right, I was trying to reduce the LoRa for the speed, right? I was keeping the LoRa for the character at 100%, so 1.0, but lowering the LoRa of the speed generation there. So clearly, because I only have, I think, 4 step in this case there, it was not giving me the details that I was looking for. So it showcased how important that FastWan LoRa is there. If I go down a bit here, I have the different new cases here where, again, this is, if I look, we have 2 step here, right? So the first video on the left, it's a two step generation, and clearly with 2 step, it's not enough steps to stabilize into a video there. So that's not enough. We go to here on the 3 step. 3 step, way better. I mean, it's looking pretty good already. 4 step on the middle image here, definitely way, probably one of the best one there. And on the right here, I have 8 step, which is, I would say, the best, but at the same time, I'm doubling the time, right? So the difference between the 4 and the 8 is not that huge in terms of quality. There's things that shows up, obviously. I mean, there's things that, like the lamp here that was not there before. The shoes design change a bit, but at the end, I mean, does the image, does the video look good, right? So one could argue even that the 3 step is starting to look pretty good already. So to take note, between 2 and 3, it's pretty good already, and we don't need to go all the way to 8 step there. One thing I check is also to try to compare between the video is the details on the ground here, because it's easier to see versus, you know, the little details on the jeans and the hair and so on there. So with the ground, I mean, you can see how it started being just, I don't know, sand, I would say. Then some rocks appear and then some bricks appear, right? So you can see the difference in the stabilization of the video there. And we can see that, you know, even though this is a fully formed brick, I mean, one could say that, you know, between 2 step and 3 step, it's looking pretty good already. I mean, this might be a bit light on the brick side there. This is a decent randomized brick, and that would be good enough, right? So again, this column here is 70% on both LoRa. I'm using a 640 with resolution, and the result here seems to show that between 3 and 4 step are the good amount of step that we can use there to generate something very good. Bottom here, I have this is like a a baseline to compare with, right? So this is the series with no FastWan. So I do not run FastWan on this line here. So we can see that without the FastWan LoRA there, it takes a bit more time to stabilize. I mean, obviously the two-step is too small, but we can clearly see it's having a really hard time to stabilize yet. I mean, it's still very unclear what the image is there. And then at 3-step, a bit better. The background, it's all hazy. At 4-step, a bit better, still a bit hazy. Break is starting to be formed, to be shaped. And at 8-step, it's starting to be really good, right? I mean, the break are very stable at this point. The background shows some element there. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's looking very good. So that's why I was using usually 8-step for the previous workflow there without the FastWan, because I was thinking that is good enough there, right? Again, it depends on different cases on what you're trying to generate, but in general, 8-step seemed to me pretty good enough there with the FusionX. And now at the very end here, I put a 12-step just to compare. I mean, the 12-step is even better in the sense of, you know, you can see the background here, the background with the wall here. This is unclear, just like fall off paint, where on the right we can definitely see some a tree being formed, right? The brick is very, very well formed there. Again, is the goal of my video to do the background, a nice background, or a nice brick? No, it's usually in this case to have a good character that I'm trying to shape out there, right? So for me, I mean, just the character alone, I mean, in this case, 4 to 8 will be good enough already, even though I do want some good environment. So that's why I was focusing on 8 there. A good character generation and a good environment being generated that is stable. Now that was the call it the control video, just to compare that without the FastWan, is it really good or not? If I go down a bit more here, I was testing more with the LoRa with the 100% on both LoRa, right? So the character LoRa at 1.0 and the FastWan LoRa at 1.0, and I'm getting very good result, right? In fact, this is the, if I zoom out a bit there, right? So this would be the just straightening this up here. This will be the 2-step, and you can see within 2-step with both 100% of the LoRa on both there, it's going very fast. I mean, it's pretty stable for the character itself there. The background still missing a bit, but the character is pretty stable. I mean, if you compare to the one above, I mean, you can see the character is not stable yet. It's still trying to figure out what it should look like. While at the same amount of step, when you have both LoRa at 100%, I mean, it's pretty good already with the environment that is still a bit hazy there, that needs to be stabilized. You can see the bricks already. I mean, things are being formed, and that's why with 100% on both LoRa, I mean, the brick is already being formed here. You can see the background is still pretty good. The character is well shaped out and stable. I mean, between the 3-step and the 4-step, which is this one here, I mean, it's barely any difference with the character. The only thing I would note myself for the character there is the belt here. You can see the belt here. It's not fully shaped. It's a black belt, but it disappears in the middle, right? And here you can see the belt being shaped. Strangely enough, but that's what happens with steps there. You go a bit higher step, and it just decides to remove the belt. No belt. It doesn't fit the character, the LoRa there. But still, I mean, higher consistency here. A bit lacking here, right? So again, it's the famous 3 to 4 step. I mean, those seems to be the element there, and with putting 100% on both LoRa for the FastWan and also the character, it's giving me very good result, right? So I would say 3 to 4 step, and that should be good there, right? And on the bottom here, I did some extra tests here. This is some tests with no character at all. Just want to make sure that if I don't have an extra character LoRa, that combines the LoRa with the FastWan, would it give better result? And it is giving good result. It's just that at the end of the day, without the LoRa that I can combine with, it kind of misses the point of why I want to use this this workflow, right? So it's a good test to compare with, but not that I'll focus on it, and it's giving good result. I think that that's what we can say there. Even without the extra LoRa. On the bottom here, I was testing without the FusionX, right? Because remember, the FusionX one model is a merge model, right? So it's merge of a bunch of other LoRa, right? So I wanted to make sure that if I remove it, it doesn't suddenly make it super nice, and because of the merge, it's causing trouble. And I can't really say that this is extremely better. If not, one could say it's even a bit worse, right? And again, that does make sense because the Fusion LoRa, that's what it does, right? There's a bunch of LoRa in there to enhance the video, enhance the result. So that makes a lot of sense there, that with the FusionX there, it gives better result while not being in conflict with the FastWan Video LoRa there. So there you go. I mean, you can see all the different tests I've been doing there. There was way more, but I started to delete some duplicating one, or the result was not that great there. But that is what I usually do there. I generate a bunch of things with different parameter. I compare, knowing that this test is a test with a character, with a certain, parameter, a certain length, and so on, right? So obviously, if you change the character, you change the size, and so on, the result of the test might be a different result, right? So this is not a 100% conclusive test, but for me, it's good enough to play around with. And depending on different use case there, I might play around with it a bit there, increasing it and decreasing some steps, some element there, to see what do I get as the best result there. So again, the workflow, if you want the workflow, you can get it from the previous video. I'll share the link so that you can go see the previous video with the workflow there. And the only thing I did within that workflow is I added the FastWan LoRa, which I also put the link there in the description so that you can go get the FastWan LoRa there. The top LoRa is a LoRa that I created myself for my AI character. You can put any LoRa that you want there, right, for your own AI character there. So don't focus too much on that there. So hopefully that was interesting, and I'll see you around.